What's up? So frustrated now because I just spent about 40 minutes trying to get a free trial. That's my usual shit over the years, right? You don't have money, but you try to get a fucking trial for 30 days. Because I don't know. I've been listening to commercials for the past month or so, and that's normally not me. Like if there's commercials on YouTube or Spotify or whatever the fuck, then I'm not gonna fucking do it. Go outside. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go. 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 Get that shit over there, man. But anyway, I'm frustrated because I'm behind. It's 12:52, about to be 1 p.m. and I already wrote in my journal like morning time. You want to do some learning, you want to read some books, do some journaling and reflection, that's fine. But once it hits 12 o'clock, it's fucking go time. And I just spent about 40 fucking minutes fucking trying to get this shit, and it's not even going. So I'll take that as a sign. Should have took it as a sign when I set a timer for 12:30 and the motherfucker went off and nothing was working, and I still keep trying different cards and trying my girlfriend's card and trying all my old cards and creating new accounts and shit. That shit used to work about fucking 7 years ago, but now the sites are getting smarter, so you can't just keep taking trials anymore. Um, because before I used to make new accounts and use the same card, and they've just gotten more advanced with it. But it's just a sign, because it's like, that just tells me I should be, working to pay for whatever it is that I'm trying to do, whether it's the YouTube Premium or Spotify, because I use the YouTube for motivation so I can do my workouts and shit. And I use the Spotify just to jam out and listen to music, but even my girl knows, like, if I don't have Spotify, she's like, "What?" And anytime I play something with commercials, she looks at me like, "What?" Because she knows I'm the type of person, like, I don't listen to commercials and stuff. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm trying to, like, work out or whatever. I don't. So I'm trying to listen to music right now, and damn commercials keep coming on. It's like I'd rather not even fucking listen to it if that's going to be the case. But it's just total signs, bro, because it's like I'm trying to get free trials and shit, and it's like you don't need to be at home just listening to shit anyway. Maybe I need to be in silence and shit. But it's very interesting because, like, the past month or so, when my premium ran out, I'm still listening to damn commercials and shit, and I would just be skipping it, and that's just not me. That's usually not what I do. I usually much rather just not listen to it. But now, I don't have anything. And I'm sure I could find some sort of damn trial, whether it's another music platform or something, but I'm just thinking I'd rather not right now. You know, I probably need to be in silence or something like that, because I don't need to be cooped up in the house all the day. I need to get out there, get a job, get working, nothing's stopping you. Even though I feel like for mentally, I feel like my girl's in charge of the relationship. Like, this isn't my house. It's decorated how she wants it. Everything is how she wants it, right? Fucking, I've said it before. Like, whatever she says goes. She wanted a house, she got it. She wanted an expensive dog, she's got it. She wanted to damn get a car off the lot and make these payments, she got it. So it's her world, right? And so, like, this morning, for instance, trying to leave the bed, and she just pulls me closer. And that's sort of like how it's been for the past year when I try to wake up early in the morning and she asks, "Where are you going?" Which, AKA, she wants me to stay with her sleeping in the bed. And it's like, bro, I know I need to snap out of it, right? Like, even if she says, "Where are you going?" Because and maybe it's, uh, I'm blocking myself because it's like, I don't like telling people what the hell I'm doing. And I don't like telling people I'm going to go work out. I don't know why. But it's like first thing in the morning and she's asking, "What are you doing?" It's like, I just want to like journal and work out. And truthfully, I should just tell her that I'm going to work out. And then it should become routine where she knows like, oh, he's going to do his damn thing, right? If because it's what people expect out of you, right? And right now I have no job, and the fruits of that is coming because I haven't had a phone service in like over 3-4 months, since October actually, and it's January. Um, I haven't had a phone since October, at least the service, and now my YouTube Premium's run out, my Spotify's run out, so anything that I'm listening to all day, every day is gone, right? So it's just a sign to me, like, to get a move on, because I got some bills, personal bills I gotta pay, I got responsibilities I gotta pay. I did the math on the rent and utilities, and it's like rent um, rent alone split halfway, $675, but with the utilities, grocery, internet, and phone, and car payment, you split all that in half. You put it together, and you got like 2,900. That's basically all that this girl makes, literally, in a month. Like, it is her whole paycheck to get all these bills taken care of. So no wonder she's been under stress, you know. But split it all in half, and it was like 1,300 a month each, right? So regardless, I should be coming up with $1,200, and that's minimum wage. If I were to go work at Jack in the Box, I'd fucking have the money, and it would be all of my check to pay half the rent, right? But instead, she's using all of her check to pay for everything, everything. And she's using all of it. So the very least I could do is go work a minimum wage fast food somewhere or something, bring in $1,200 and give away my whole check. At the very least, even though my worth is more, even though I should be making closer to 3,000, and at very minimum go work in a warehouse and make 2,000, but at the very least I should be working minimum wage and give away my whole check to pay bills. Responsibility. You can't just be all smart and all this shit like a homeless man that knows everything, but you have nothing. No one wants to listen to you. The OG in Houston told me that years ago. He's like, no one's going to listen to you because you don't have your own house. You know what I'm saying? You don't have anything that anybody wants. They can't look up to you for that. And that's something that I was kind of saying yesterday is like, you can't tell people how you feel and stuff. I'm trying to train myself to talk less and not give my opinion unless it's being asked. Because people don't even really give a fuck anyway unless they're asking you, oh, how did you do that? Or what's your thoughts on this? They don't care unless they're asking you about it, right? I'm trying to learn to stop giving my own opinion on stuff. And in fact, it's true, no one cares anyway. You haven't made a name for yourself. You don't have any standings. But, yeah, what are you going to do, man? It's 1 p.m., and I got to get moving. And the most important thing for me today is my damn push-ups. That's it. All I care about is my fucking push-ups, bro. That might be sad, but that's all I got. It's all I care about. I just want to do my fucking push-ups. I've done my journaling for the day. That's out of it. I wasted practically an hour right now trying to get some free trials or something so I could listen to something while I work out. That's out of it. So, I'm beating myself up because I fucking just wasted a whole lot of time. But yeah, man, I gotta get to work. Simple and plain, man. Gotta get to work. Because anything it takes, bro, any type of investments, any even the simple shit like eating food, like if the girl's been feeding me this whole time, and even the Bible says you don't work, you don't eat. So you could at least go out and work at Jack in the Box, McDonald's or something, even though what, your pride doesn't want you to work there because you might see somebody you know, or if someone asks you, where are you working? I've even told the girl like, oh, I have this job position, and she's like, oh, how much are you making? I'm like, oh, well, $13 an hour. And she just has no response. And then that makes me feel down. Like, fuck her mama, fuck yo daddy, fuck your friends, nigga. Because they're not on your mind frame, right? What? Who cares? Who cares? Even your girl has told you before, who cares? She wouldn't mind as long as you don't stay there forever. Like, I get depressed. Like, I'm depressed about my situation, so I'm just not going to do shit at all. And then stay in the situation for another year? No way, brother. No way. You at least, like, who's going to stop you, G? Because your girl tells you, where are you going? Stay in bed. She going to tell you not to have two jobs because, oh, you're never home. Right? Because I picture myself on two extremes. The first extreme is like how I've been living, bringing absolutely nothing to the table, right? You're not paying for groceries, you're not paying for rent, you're not paying for gas, you're not paying for shit. And now, your mama's dead. My mama died. So I can't ask my mama for money. I got no safety net right now. And I can't ask my daddy for money. Last time I tried to ask him for money, he said he's not going to do it. And that's how it should have been the first time for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama should have said no, or there should have been prerequisites, or I should have paid her back for the money that I borrowed in the first place. But that's motherly love. But it's definitely a lesson that I needed to learn. And, my girl said it when my mom passed. She's like, it's sad to say this, but it's like, I kind of feel as though you needed your mom to pass for you to grow up. And I feel that, because the motherly love, she just didn't tell me no. There was a certain time where she was stern and she was like, I can't do that. But then I just kept asking and asking and asking and asking, And I feel bad about that because I wrote in my journal a year ago that my regret was that I was asking my mom for money. And it's like, who's going to stop you, G? They talk shit about you when you're not producing, right? I know how these people, everybody feels a certain type of way about me. I know it. Whether it's good, bad, or just like, disdain, or just putting up with me, right? Or making excuses for me. But whether it's my dad, my best friends, my girlfriend, her family, I've always lived like, oh, what will they think? It was like, they already think you're a piece of shit because you don't provide anything, you don't bring anything to the table. You think your girl respects you or even wants to fuck you because you're not doing shit, right? You don't have a career, you're not respected by your peers. You know what I'm saying? You're not producing shit, and that's why I hate when I talk about shit like, oh, I want to do gardening, or oh, I want to do a project or some shit. It's like, there's no response again from my girl because I know she's thinking, like, motherfucker, you don't even pay bills. How the fuck are you going to do some shit like that? It reminds me of when I was dating a girl before and I said, oh, I want the Sam's Club membership just so I can get the chicken. or whatever, because I'm like, they have the best rotisserie chicken. And she was like, well, do it, because it's like $50 or some shit or whatever. And I remember even thinking in that moment, like, damn, bro, you're talking about buying shit, and like, I just don't want to do that no more. I don't want to talk about shit, and I ain't doing it. That's a loser, bro. Definition of a loser. Saying you want something, not making it happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I say I want something, you better guarantee that you check in with me like sometime later I'm going to have what I say I want, right? It should be like that. And for 5 years straight, I've I've taken pictures off the internet, so-called vision board. Even though it's not really a vision board because it's just in the background, but I've saved pictures of things I want. I just want a nice outfit because I've never bought outfits or shoes that I've wanted for myself or anything like that, right? Except for over 10 years ago when I had my first job. That's the first time I really spent money on myself. Um, you know, Up to now, when I get money, it's like I just spend it just to fucking spend it on bullshit. It's kind of like when I smoke. Like, I've never really enjoyed smoking, but I would spend all my money on smoke. Anyway, the whole basis of this YouTube channel is supposed to be positive mental attitude, definite purpose, and your word is stone. Just thinking, because yesterday or the day before, my girl was talking about how she's sad her family doesn't invite her to stuff. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what? That probably contributes to me too. Every time there's a situation in life and my family, my dad, or whoever, I tell them, oh, that's my fault, whether it's serious or just small. And they say, oh, it's not your fault because of blah, 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 blah. They're making excuses. And that's fine. Okay. But nobody can lie to me and say that it's not my fault, because that's a true leader. I was born to be a leader, and I haven't stepped up to the plate. And these people are looking for a leader anyway, because why? They always come to me for the solution. Always been that way. Whether it's my girl, my dad, my friends, they fucking come to me for the solution. And what? I haven't been representing, because I don't have the resources to make that shit happen, right? So it's like, I was born to be a leader. I didn't pick up on it. And it's like, you're going to get criticized regardless. Because I know everybody thinks a certain type of way about me. And then when I don't provide, or I think my girl's family doesn't invite us to particular things because they know she's not going to have money. Why doesn't she have money? Because she's picking up from my slack and she's paying 100% of the bills and I'm contributing nothing. That's just how I feel. Like, they don't have her do certain things because she knows she's going to be short. And that's not her fault. It's mine. Right? Like, even when she said she's upset about the rent, and she said she didn't blame me because she signed up for it. Well, my name's on the lease. I agreed to go half with you. So it is my fault, right? My mom dying. Like, people say, oh, it's not your fault. I know it's my fault. And humans, every time I say something's my fault for different situations, I should just keep my mouth shut, because they would never understand. Or maybe they do, or maybe they're just making excuses. But it's like, you're not going to change my mind and tell me that it's not your fault. I know it's my fault. That's of a leader. What a leader's truly supposed to be is undeniable, have non-negotiables, and have results and make it happen. So when it doesn't happen, and I say, oh, it's my fault, and a human says, oh, no, it's not, it's okay, I can't get through to them and say, no, that's bullshit. I know it's my fault. And don't try to make me feel fucking better because that's shit, right? I know I could have prolonged my mother's life by uh, getting her in a positive environment and providing funds, the money. I may not care about money, but I had a responsibility to relieve the stress of my girlfriend by paying rent. I could have saved my mama's life by helping her or being around more or providing her a place to stay, anything. From big events to small items. Every time I say it's my fault, a human says, oh no, it's okay. Just because they're not leaders. So they wouldn't understand the burden. And I've known for quite some time that I'm supposed to lead my friends, lead my family, lead by example. And a good example takes care of responsibility, has the money and resources to take care of themselves and provide, and have the money to lend if you need it. Right now, I have no backup plan, right? I would always borrow money from my mama. Now I can't even borrow from my dad. He said, oh, he's not going to do it, and I understand that. But also, it's because I know he can't. Like, I know for a fact, if I had the money, that nigga would be asking me for money. I know it. He can't lend me money because I know he doesn't have it. But it's good that he's not doing it for the purpose of structure, that I get it through my brain. I can't just borrow money all the time without paying it back or providing for myself. That's good. But also, I know he can't. He doesn't have the resources. My mom had the resources to let me borrow money. My dad doesn't even have those resources. But I know that I should have the money to pay my bills, create an emergency savings, and to have a extra amount of money to where, okay, my girlfriend has a problem, my family has a problem, and they say, oh my God, I'm behind, or this came up and I need money. I'll be like, don't worry, I got you. That should be me. I know it. To be the head and not the tail. Right? So it's just the pain of being a leader. And you just got to pick that up, man. Pick it up. Because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to come and do it for you. And especially if you're over here on a frequency of people who are ordinary and not pushing you, right? Like, no accountability. Too much kindness breeds a lack of accountability is true. And that's what my dad's trying to instill in me now. That's what my mom, she didn't have accountability, right? For me to pay her back what I owed. And she kept giving me more and more and more money. And that's just motherly love, because that's what they say. Like, the mother will just endlessly love, just give until they got nothing left. And a father will say, no, you need to go out and get that yourself. And they'll be stern and make you learn, right? That's how it's supposed to be. So now I got nothing to fall back on. You know, I can't borrow money from my mom, because anytime I would be late on rent, I just called my mom. And my friend from Houston even told me that. He's like, you're not going to kick it into gear because you have that backup plan. You have a plan B. If you don't make the money, you're going to ask your mama for some money. You're going to ask to borrow some cash. You know, and now I don't. My mama's dead. So I can't ask her for no money. And my dad made it abundantly clear that he's not going to. And I know that he doesn't even have the ability to. I should be working hard so that I'm helping my dad with his business. I'm funding him. You know, I'm promoting him. You know what I'm saying? My dad's older and having health issues now. And I know that he expects me to take control of the company when he passes, or if he ever gets sick enough to where he can't go into work like that. I have to show competence, responsibility, accountability. You think if I was responsible, if I took care of my own bills, let alone had a nice car, let alone worked out and was in shape, let alone had my own business, let alone chased my creativity and made movies and music, etc. You don't think my friends would respect me? My dad would respect me? My dad already listens to my opinion, but all the more if I had more money than him. And that's what my old roommate told me before. He was like, I don't listen to any man that does not have more money than me. And that's just how it goes, right? And in this world, that bar is so fucking low. Or at least in this area or in this environment. The median, the average pay for San Antonians is between $50,000 and $80,000 in a household. And as a young man, by the age of 30, and this is just how to rate yourself. If you want to be ordinary, that's fine. But after high school, you're not really gauging yourself. But the gauge is that a young man at 30 years old should be making between $60,000 and $80,000 a year. And in San Antonio, that's for the whole household average. Right? The bar is so low because people only do the average. People only work 8-hour days. You should be working closer to 12, 18. What the fuck am I working? 0. The only question, the only two questions, great questions to ask yourself, myself, is how many hours did you work today? How many hours did you work yesterday? That's it. Because the word of the day is cash. I've never been all about money. I've never cared about money. But you need it. People don't listen to you unless you have it, right? And on top of that, I've thought about it. What's that movie? Blood In, Blood Out? I don't know what it is. But it's about an oil man, right? And he was a loudmouth. You know what I'm saying? People didn't like him, prone to anger, whatever. But when it came down to it, they want to make him happy. They need to ask him for money, right? I can be a nice guy and have the money, right? And if I think about it in terms of, do you have more money than me? Then fuck off. And especially because, what? If you don't agree with me, fine. Why the fuck do I care? You're not gonna do shit for me. And then at the end of the day, if you don't agree with me, you're still gonna ask me to borrow money. I know it. If I had the money, you would ask to borrow it, whether you agree with me or not. And then subconsciously or literally, you would have to submit to me. Like what? I don't agree with the procedures of my father. But yet, when I was in a bind, I called him for money. Even though I don't agree with how his procedures or what he does. But yet, I still had to call him to borrow money. And that's what it is. And I've always been afraid of doing something because, oh, my girlfriend won't agree with it. Or my girlfriend's mom wouldn't like this. Or my dad wouldn't agree with this. But I guarantee if they needed your help, they call you. And what? So what? Even if I were to do the most, because I'm so much of a nice guy that I won't hurt people's feelings, won't tell them how it really is. But if you were honest, and even if they did hate on you for what? What? Even if I were to go to the extreme and say, I want 4 girlfriends, I want 5 cars, I want a big house, even if I was all about that on some crazy shit, so what? Why am I so worried about what the fuck they think? Because at the end of the day, I'm alone. At the end of the day, I'm in the darkness. And at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck. They care, whatever. If I were to die, they'd cry. But what? My mama died. Motherfuckers switch up at reception. Motherfuckers switch up in a week. I guarantee, like, even my sister, right now, they might say, oh, I miss her. But they're not fucking crying and distraught. Life goes on. And that's how it's going to be for me. If I were to die, they'd say, oh, that's too bad. A week later, life moves on. Month later, 1 year later. Who gives a fuck? I don't know why I care so damn much about what other motherfuckers think. Because I care what they think now, and they still think shit about me. Because I'm a broke bum. So I know a majority of people probably have a negative idea about me. And even if they still like me, like my friends, they have no choice but to feel animosity. I don't know, but you know, feel a little bad because he's a nice guy, but he ain't got shit. You know, you have no choice. Just like when I was talking to this homeless man and he's telling me all this information, all this stuff about life, and I'm like, wow. But I couldn't, and I'm not even a judgmental person. I'm an empathetic person. But I couldn't help but think, man, that's spot on. But man, you're a homeless guy, so how much can I really depend on your word? And I know that's exactly it. So I'm so worried about people, you know, talking shit or feeling a certain type of way about me. In particularly, like my girlfriend or her mom or my dad. It's like, who gives a fuck? Because first off, I wouldn't want to be anything like them. Never. I wouldn't want to look like them. I wouldn't want tits. I wouldn't want their lifestyle. I wouldn't want their vocabulary. I wouldn't want to watch the TV shows they watch. I wouldn't want their fucking car. That's not what I would want. Kudos to them, but it's not what the fuck I want. I wouldn't want their routine. I wouldn't want their behavior. I wouldn't want shit that they have. I love my life. I love how I am. And I have the energy. I do stupid shit like 4 hours of push-ups and fucking 2 hours of cardio. Stupid shit to other human beings, right? That's all I care about. I don't care about money. I don't. But you need it. And people don't listen to you unless you have a lot of money. That's just the number one rule. Really, the rule number one is drop the vices. No drinking, no smoking, no pills, no nothing. Drop the vices. Create a strong work ethic. I know the rules. I know what to do. But every time I make any slight move, always worried about what another motherfucker thinks. Why? If you think they're already talking shit about me because I don't have a job, I don't have a car, I don't have shit. I know if they're not saying it, they're thinking a certain type of way about me. So what? You're already fucked. So why not make a move? Why not just go work at Jack in the Box and then go work 2 jobs and then go to school online and then detox and then get a better job and then go get a better job, then go get a license, then go to school, you know, and go get better. So what? You go work at fucking Jack in the Box and they be like, you work at Jack in the Box? Who gives a fuck, motherfucker? Who gives a shit? You're so prideful. You're worried about a motherfucker seeing you at McDonald's and saying, ugh, motherfucker, you eat McDonald's, bitch. You looking down at me, I'm looking down at you. Well, I don't look down at nobody, but it's like you think a certain type of way. That's what I'm worried about. A motherfucker saying, oh, he works at Jack in the Box, he works at McDonald's. Motherfucker, I got a plan. And every time I always get distraught and emotional and upset because, oh, what do they think about me? Oh, I'm starting at the bottom. Oh, it's like, motherfucker, get the fuck running. You're in the mud, motherfucker, work that shit. And fuck them. That's what I need to learn is to fuck them. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Because you're at the bottom, I'm at rock bottom, and they are going to talk shit. If I do what I want to do, whatever it is, even if I want 5 girlfriends, even if I want a fast fucking car, whatever the fuck, and you think they're going to talk shit then, motherfucker, they're talking shit now. They're always going to talk shit. Everybody, anybody's going to talk that shit. If I had the riches, if I had the car, if I had the house, if I did what the fuck I want and was honest with a motherfucker, and I told a female, hey, I want 2 girlfriends. Oh, okay, they might not agree with it. If I tell my dad, hey, I'm fucking a new bitch every night, he'd be like, oh, that's not Christian. Motherfucker, I guarantee if you were in a bind and you needed $10,000 and I had it, you would ask me for the money. Right? They may not agree with you, but motherfucker, they'd have to come to your throne and bow the fuck down and say, I need help. Will you help me? Motherfucker, I thought you didn't like what I do. I fuck 5 bitches at one time. And you said you don't agree with that shit. And they would have to bury their head and say, oh, I know. Will you please give me some money? Because that's the type of shit that I do. I don't agree with motherfuckers, but yet I'm going to say, oh, can you help me out? Reverse the roles. And the bar is so fucking low. So fucking low. Look around me. I don't see motherfuckers that go to the grocery stores. I don't see a motherfucker that I would look up to. Everyone's overweight. Everyone's not fucking strong. Everyone's just living a fucking life. La-di-da-di-da. Ordinary. You may have a skill. You may have a lot of money. But then maybe you look like a piece of shit. Or maybe you have no real goals. Or maybe you're not creating a real legacy. Or whatever, bro. You know, it doesn't matter because I understand I have to do the ordinary and then do extra on top of the ordinary to be extraordinary. Because I don't even want the ordinary, but I'm not even doing the ordinary. The ordinary is working 40 hours. I need to be working closer to 60 or 80 hours. But right now I'm working 0. So it's like you have to get into the arena because I'm talking the shit, but it's like I'm not even doing shit. I'm not even doing shit. I'm not even doing the minimum. The minimum is working at Jack in the Box and having $1,200 a month and giving my whole check away. That's the fucking minimum. Sweden's fucking beautiful, man. Those mountains, gorgeous. Switzerland. But that's the fucking minimum, dude. Minimum wage. That's the least someone can ask out of you. You can't do that. And you know, the average, the minimum you can do is work at Jack in the Box. The average you can do is work delivery or warehouse work or what the fuck ever, some shit. And then the moderate level is to fucking get certified, make 22 an hour plus or whatever. And then the exquisite would be to get certified, get a skill, get a trade, or go to college, get a degree, one of those shit. Exemplary, some shit like that. Right? But you're not even doing the bare minimum, which is fucking minimum wage. Like, that's the least that you owe, is contributing something. Because in this society, you have to contribute. That's all it is to not be a burden on other people. And once you're past 18, you gotta fend for yourself. That's just the way it is, you know. My dad never kicked me out and shit, and that's fine. That's respect. That's love. But I think that should only be done for women. And he's had daughters all his life, and it's not his fault. But it's like, I feel like that's for a girl. Like, you tell the girl, you can, you know, buy the girl whatever she wants. You know, that's my princess. If she wants it, she has it. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to have to work hard for shit. But my son, he better motherfucking work hard. You better be giving me push-ups and a book report and do your chores. Like, that's all I want from you, boy. Like, you owe every day until you're 18. Then you owe that on top of money if you're going to live in this house. And you know, that's the thing. I just wish I wasn't, I wish I didn't have so much alone time when I was a kid. I wish I had stuff that I actually had to fulfill. And if you didn't fulfill it, then I'm not going to buy you shit. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? Give you special treats, right? Sweets and candy and shit. You can't have no candy, no cake, no bullshit. unless you do this. You know what I'm saying? I wish there was reprimation. I wish there was consequences for my actions. You know, I wish when I turned 18 that either it was required you get the fuck out, or pay me rent, or else get the fuck out, right? And I even think one time my dad was like, you got to start paying rent, and I didn't pay rent, and he still let me stay there. Like, there's got to be reprimation. There's got to be consequences for your actions. Like, you have to fulfill this, or else, like, you don't get shit. And as a kid, I would say I would require push-ups, book report, and chores. And when you're 18, like, if you decide to stay here and not go out into the world, you still owe. And now you owe money on top of it. You owe rent, a portion of rent. And that's just it, man. Like I said before, like anything you're asking for it. You want to run a business? Well, you're asking to pay employees. You want to rent an apartment? That's what you're asking for. You want to rent a house? You're asking for more bills, more responsibility. You want to take over the world? You want to run for president? You want to whatever the hell it is, bro. You're asking for this stress. You're asking for this responsibility, and you better motherfucker come up with it. And if you're not gonna come up with it, then be homeless. If that's what you're gonna ask for. Right? You don't want responsibilities, then that's what you owe. You owe to be homeless. That's what you're asking for. Straight up. And I've never been in that position. Even now, my girl pays for everything, the groceries, so I'm still eating every day, right? Ain't did a day's work. That's against the Bible. You don't work, you don't eat. And at very minimum, what? You could be cleaning the entire house, right? Make it look spotless. Make it smell good. Make it look good like a magazine, at the very least. You know, don't just be sitting around being methodical, thinking all the time. That's how I get in analysis paralysis. You know, just fucking thinking. I know that the time is coming where it's going to be action. At least for the next 2 to 3 years, I need to be taking action. I'm always so worried about, ooh, am I doing the right thing? Oh, what does this person think about? Fuck it, motherfucker. If you're going to be thinking all the time, all methodical and thinking and shit, and motherfucker, you think while you're working. Think while you're getting paid. That's why I like driving. Like when I do DoorDash, I'm just thinking just like this. But I'm making some form of money. That's why I think like getting CDL, driving long distances, or even working for FedEx or some shit would be good for me, because all I do is fucking think like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Oh, thinking about life, thinking about all this shit, philosophical, whatever. But it's like, if you're gonna think like that, think about that shit while you're working, so you can get some money while you're doing it at least. That's why I always thought that I should be doing the trucking, because I'm like, I'm always thinking, but I'm always driving. So you might as well just be driving and thinking. And then at the end of the day, all it is resources. Having the answers. That's it. Pay rent, have a backup plan, whatever it is, self-sufficiency, you know, get a farm, build a house, whatever it is, bro. It comes down to the money. And at the end of the day, what I keep learning is that you're always going to have somebody not like you, or not agree with you, or think bad about you, or talk bad to you, whoever it is. Friend, family, stranger, significant other, whatever the fuck. So you might as well do what you want to do, as long as you are honest with yourself and honest with God.